No matter how much money you spend on a scanner, there are 4 things that it will never be able to do. Today I'm going to show you what those 4 things are. I'll explain why a scanner will never be able to do them, and I'll show you what you can do about it to actually fix your car yourself. Now let's get started with the first misconception, and that is your scanner might not even know that your car has a problem. If that's blowing your mind right now, that's a good thing because you just learned something that 90% of do-it-yourselfers don't know. But why does your scanner not know if there's a problem with your car? Earlier this year, I bought a car at auction that everyone else was afraid to buy. One guy offered $800 and then an auction employee started the car. With the engine running, it started popping really loud. It kind of sounded like a popcorn machine. So everyone kind of took a step back and the bidding stopped. So I offered a bid of $900 and that was that. I ended up with the winning bid and a car that I had to tow home. My first priority was finding the cause of the problem, so I scanned the car and yep, there weren't any codes. So as far as the scanner was concerned, the car had no problems at all, but I could obviously see the problem, so I had to dig a little bit further. I was able to use the scanner to find clues that got me closer to solving this mystery. What I noticed was it had a relative compression problem, so I knew the problem was mechanical and under the hood. I continued my testing under there, and I was able to find the problem. So the scanner didn't know where to look, but it did have some tools available that I could use that kind of acted like a trail of breadcrumbs that led me to the problem. Secondly, most scan tools can't do everything you want them to do on every car. Most of the, what I like to call full function scan tools, are essentially all the same. They function the same from car to car, with a few exceptions. Now take these 2 scanners, for example.
These are both full function scan tools, but the King Bolin has a smaller 7-inch touchscreen. It's only got 31 resets. You'll be able to graph 4 PIDs at a time on the screen, but more importantly, you've got a shorter battery life. The standby time for this tool has been about 1 day for me, and then I've got to put it back on the charger. The Launch has a 10-inch touchscreen, which I like because it's easier to see everything. It's capable of remote diagnostics, but the most important thing, topology map. This is my absolute favorite feature. It's got a long battery life. It lasts for days on standby. You can graph up to 12 PIDs at a time on the screen. You've got now 41 resets, CAN FD, and it's more expandable than the K7. And of course, an obvious price difference.
With all of their differences, the functionality of these scanners on this car is roughly the same. They all have the ability to control the fuel pump on and off, or a lot of other systems, but that list of systems is the same. That means it's almost always the car that limits what your scanner is able to do. It's time for a demonstration to show you just what I mean. All right, we've got the low pressure fuel hose. We're gonna use this to fill the jerry can. Let me go ahead and disconnect it here. It's got a little bit of pressure in the system, so I'm gonna use the rag to keep it from spraying in my face. There it goes, just a little bit. I'm gonna set you up right here and show you what I'm doing. And let's go to the ECM actuation tests, and we're gonna go to fuel pump electronics. Let me go ahead and hold it out here, and you can see I'm gonna hit the button now to start it. And there it goes. We've got full fuel flow. So I can leave that in there and fill up the jerry can, or I want to test out the King Bolin K7. Let's see if that can do the same thing that we're doing here. Actuation tests. And we're going to go for the fuel pump. Fuel pump electronics. Boom, there it is. Oh, that's not enter. OK is enter. There you go. All right, fuel pump electronics, brief actuation, no time limit. Let's go. There you go. Fuel pump works. So this thing does just about the same tests, same actuation tests as the more expensive Ace 3. Just because I can operate the fuel pump on this car doesn't mean I can do it on the next car. Sometimes I'll have command over the fuel pump, but my only option is to turn it off. And on other cars, I might not have the ability at all. So it really depends on the car manufacturer themselves. This next one is for people who are ready to level up. Now, you know, if you're going to replace a PCM, you're going to have to get it programmed before it's going to work on that car. Now, the most expensive scan tools out there, some of them come with a programming interface, but it won't allow you to use your scanner to program the car through that interface. The latest launch X431 Pad 7 Elite retails for $2,700. It comes with the SmartLink C version 2 interface, but it can't be used with the scanner to program modules. In order to do that, you need to connect it to the internet. Then you need to subscribe to the service that does the programming for you. That's why Launch includes that SmartLink with its high-end scanners, but it also sells it separately because it's able to be used separately. All you need is an internet connection and the subscription to their service. Now, if you're going to try and do programming without that subscription service, you've got a whole lot more equipment that you're going to have to buy. No auto manufacturer will allow you to connect to their car using your tablet scan tool and that interface because they have an entire list of hardware and software requirements that you have to meet before you can do any programming. The fourth shortcoming of scan tools, and probably the most heartbreaking, is that they cannot answer the most important question: why? Why does your car have the problem that it does? Now, it's going to be able to scan it for codes, and if it finds one, it'll actually know that it has a problem, but that code isn't why the problem exists. What does that even mean? If your car detects a symptom, what does it do? Well, it doesn't hear the popping noise of your engine, but what it can do is detect a number that's outside of the normal range. So for example, you might have a circuit code that's got high voltage, or another circuit code that's got low voltage for that circuit. You might have a lean exhaust code, or you might have a low oil pressure code. A lot of these things are just going to be placed into the memory, and then you're going to have to find out for yourself what's going on. So just like before, these codes are clues. They're breadcrumbs that's going to lead you down the right path to find out what's wrong with your car. But it's not going to be able to tell you that you have a broken spark plug or that you have a worn out oxygen sensor. It's just going to give a code, and you're going to have to do the testing yourself. Wow, it's starting to rain pretty hard out there. If you scan a car and you get a P0171 code, go on YouTube, go on your forums, you're going to see everyone is going to tell you, replace the oxygen sensor, because that's a no-brainer. And that's a pretty good guess, but that's all it is. And you might end up buying an oxygen sensor, but you don't need one. And there could be 6 other problems that a car could have that'll set a code like that. So you go to the next one and the next one and end up spending $1,000 loading up that parts cannon and firing it at your car, hoping one of them is going to solve your problem. Instead, look back to what we did before with testing. So the best thing you can do is use your scan tool and other testing equipment and this thing right here, because the most important tool in your arsenal is the one that's in between your ears. Do proper testing and then find out what the problem is before you start spending money on tools, and you'll be much happier and you won't run the risk of making the problem worse. So test and don't guess. You'll get it right the first time, almost every time, and you'll be a lot happier for it. So to learn how to start doing that on your car, watch my full diagnostic process on that auction car that was popping. You can click that right over here, and I'll see you in a second.